All right, let's connect it up. All right, I think we're going good. Let's see what we got here for July 5th, 2020, coming at you for a live stream. We're talking about The Walking Dead, comic show, all that stuff, Q&A, whatever you want to post. Got to put this spoiler warning out there for anybody watching and don't know what people are going to ask, and I don't know what you want to know, what you don't know, so we got to put that general spoiler warning out there. It's not a spoiler video by any means because there's not much news going around. So hopefully you guys are safe and sound. Going to wait for everybody to join before we get going. So we'll go from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Not sure where you are, where you're at, if you're in the United States or not, but hopefully you're safe and sound if you celebrated 4th of July. Hopefully it was a good holiday for you. I didn't do much myself. I'm not the biggest holiday person when it comes to 4th of July. Most of my friends are out of the state. My family is all out of the state. I live in Florida, so I'm not going to see them for the holidays because they live across thousands of miles away. So it's one of those things where my wife and I, we took it easy. Hopefully, you were safe and sound. You had some good food. Maybe friends and family came over. Maybe you had some fireworks, saw some fireworks, lit up some fireworks. I don't know, but hopefully it was safe and sound. That's the biggest thing because, it's a crazy place, the world we live in right now. And I'm not sure what it's going to be to make it better. Time, I guess, right? Because I'm not sure if it's going to just take time for us to get vaccines for COVID-19 or the virus is going to dissipate or something's going to happen. I just don't know, what it's going to be. The biggest thing is that you're safe and sound, and if you can avoid people, that's probably the best thing, and that's what I'm doing as well too. So I'm not sure if you can do that. I just have the ability to be able to work from home, be at home, be with my wife and everything here. We can go out sparingly too much on there, and a lot of the beaches are closed, so there's not really too much to do for that. So hopefully you had a good holiday if you celebrated. I know earlier this week was Canada Day, and I know a lot of people are from Canada that watch. A lot of people are over in Europe and different states as well too. So the biggest thing is that I just hope we're making it okay. And everyone's on a short fuse. I feel it sometimes where we're like, man, I just wish the world and life was normal. We could go to the movies or go to the mall or go to the beach and not have to worry about being 6 feet away or wearing a mask or doing this and worrying about so many things. And eventually we'll get to that, right? I mean, hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Hopefully it's a couple months from now. Maybe it's the end of the year. Maybe it's next year. I'm not sure. The way our life is impacted, people are definitely fed up. That's for sure. I feel you on that. I'm definitely having my good days and bad days. Some days you wake up and you're like, man, I'm like over this. I'm over it being such craziness where we have to be like, when can I do this? Can we do this? Should I do this? I don't know. If it's something risky, I'm not about there. It has that feeling of the zombie apocalypse feel to it, right? Like people are on edge. People, it's not like the same mindset at all. It's not the same thing where you have to worry about zombies or this and that. But it has the feeling where I would wonder if people were interested to be like, yeah, it has that feeling when you go out, stay 6 feet away or at least this or do that. And, are people doing that? Are people not? Is it part of the problem? We're just not sure too. So I'm not sure what it's going to be and how we're going to be, but hopefully everybody watching will be safe and sound. But I do feel like it's got that zombie apocalypse feel to it still. So still no real good definite news about the Walking Dead season 10 finale. If you watch the show Friday Night In with the Morgans, on Friday, it was interesting. They didn't talk about The Walking Dead at all. They really talked about, I don't know, just like random stuff, right? It was pretty cool because Diane Kruger and Norman Reedus were on. Jean-Michel, who runs the comic book shop near where Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Hillary live, and then Elizabeth Moss, who was in a bunch of different movies, a bunch of different things. She was on there as well. And it was entertaining. It was the first time that I've actually watched the whole entire episode, and I got to see it's much improved. The first time they did it, it was like everybody was on there and it was this and it wasn't going so smoothly, but that's how stuff works when you first do something, a show, a book, a drawing, a video, a movie, whatever it is, it's not going to go the best, right? So I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but they didn't talk about The Walking Dead at all. I wish they would have given something about it on there, but I don't think they can, and I'm not sure when it was actually filmed. But it was interesting because they talked about what they were doing and where they were, and it was a little better than I saw was it Friday? I might have actually been Friday as well. My wife and I were trying to figure out what to watch, right? There's no Walking Dead. You can watch old seasons. You can watch old shows. We're on Netflix. We're on HBO Go. We're on this. We're watching a bunch of different things. And I came across the movie that was called, what was it even called now? Either way, it had Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Dave Bautista in it and Robert De Niro. And I was like, what is this movie? It's called Heist. Now I just remember Heist. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in it. He's kind of the main actor in it. Dave Bautista, the wrestler, the guy from, a bunch of different Marvel movies, and he's in it, and Robert De Niro. And, there's a lot of people in the movie. Gina Carano's in there too. More people are in it than you think. And it's a different kind of movie. So if you haven't watched anything, if you haven't seen the movie, it's definitely, John knows what I'm talking about. So John, it was definitely, was it filmed in Louisiana? I'm not sure, because I know parts of it was filmed in different sites, and the license plate said Louisiana. So was it actually filmed? Is that what we're talking about? Your hometown is Louisiana, John? But it's definitely a movie that you want to check out. If you like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he's cool. If you like Bautista, he's cool. Robert De Niro is great. There's a bunch of actors in it, Mobile, Alabama. So, so it was filmed in Alabama. And I guess it was supposed to be Alabama, Louisiana. I guess it was Alabama. And then we watched a bunch of different things, and there's really not that many things to really, watch and do. And we're watching crazy stuff and different movies on there as well. And some movies are like so bad. We watched this other movie called Braven with Jason Momoa. And it's really not a good movie. The story is a little far-fetched, and it's like this. And it's basically like if you like Jason Momoa, you'll watch it. But if not, then I'm not sure if you'll check it out. But it's something to watch on. We watched it on TNT on demand there too, because we're getting slim pickings on what to watch for sure. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for everybody joining me this Sunday. Thank you, Renee, and the rest of my moderators doing a great job. They do a great job as well too. So Violet TWD, my birthday is the 8th. Can you shout me out? Violet TWD. Violet? You're turning violet? But hopefully you guys are checking out some things and passing the time. I know that we're getting there, guys. It's crazy to think that it's July 5th, right? When this all started, it was like March, April. Then we were in May, and then June, and now we're in July, So zoinks. No, do you play the Telltale games? I don't play them. I played the first game, and it really wasn't for me, like going around just making decisions on there too. Like I liked the idea of it a little more open world on there. I actually made a video that I was going to post yesterday, but it was 4th of July, so I made the 4th of July video. It's going to talk about the stuff with Clementine, Negan, and stuff in there as well. So I'll post that tomorrow, but I made it a couple days ago. And a lot of times I make videos days before I post them, and I love making videos and posting one a day, even though I used to love making a video, posting it, and sometimes I would post 2-3 videos a day. But right now I like the idea of posting one video daily, and I got a bunch of ideas in the hopper coming up, Walking Dead related on there as well. But really there's no news yet about the Walking Dead season 10 finale. The Negan Lives comic came out July 1st, so it's in paperback form. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out if you like the comics on there as well. And it'll help support your local comic book shop. That's a big thing. I don't know if we're going to get news about the Walking Dead Season 10 finale before Comic-Con at Home, but I doubt it, because the Comic-Con at Home is going to be, the panel for The Walking Dead is going to be talking about the Season 10 finale, so I doubt it's going to be on. If it just doesn't make sense for them to talk about it after it comes on. So we'll have to see what happens, what's actually they're going to talk about. Fear the Walking Dead, the panel, the season 6 panel, they'll probably talk about season 6. And then World Beyond, they have their own separate panel too. So that'll be pretty awesome. I'm excited for that. And that'll be, I don't know exact dates, but that's coming up in a couple weekends, July 22nd, 22 to the 26th. So that'll be coming up in a couple weekends, and hopefully we'll have some good stuff. We'll have Umbrella Academy later this month, and then I was hoping The Boys would be coming out this month in July, but that's going to be in September, which is always good as well. Joey the Gator asks, Q&A, have you had a corona test done? I know it's a random question, but I had done for a second time last week and I hurt my nose. I have not had a test. I have not had the need to go get a test, but I know that it looks terrible, or they have to like stick that thing in there and like, I don't even know what they're trying to poke in there. I don't know what's going on, but it just looks uncomfortable, that's for sure. But I haven't felt bad enough to go get one. I haven't done anything. I've done my social distancing, wear a mask when I go outside. And to be honest with you, I stay away from people. I stay in the house. My neighbors and stuff were pretty far away when we talk, and it's not really anything where we have to really do anything besides going to, the grocery store or a couple other stores. Like I'll go to Sam's tomorrow, and a lot of times there's not a lot of people in there. And so I'm, social distancing, and I wear a mask when I go in there too. And, it's, it's just weird. I don't know when we're going to be able to, get to the thing. We'll see when we don't have to wear masks and we don't have to do anything. So we'll have to see later on what happens this year. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like every month comes along, right? And it comes in and it's like, what's going to happen next? What's next? Okay, we have this, and then we have that, and then we have this, and then we have that, and then, okay, this added on to that, and it's like, oh my goodness, when is it going to end? Is it just going to go throughout the whole year? July, August, September, October. It's just crazy. When is this going to finish? Is it going to be December 31st? Is that when we're finally going to be over it too? So I'm not sure, but hopefully you guys are being okay. You're making it, and you're filling the void of time because, every day has 24 hours in a day, and you're like, well, duh. But if you think about it, the day can go by fast or it can go by slow. But either way, the day is going to go by as soon as it sounds. As it sounds, it's going to be 24 hours. Whether you do something, you get up late, you get up early, you go to work, you don't, you're at home, you're reading something, you're writing something, whatever it is. So hopefully you can be productive where it is, and you can find it. You can make lemonade. You can make lemonade out of this lemons. It's kind of like if you have a positive outlook on it, it's still going to be bad, but it's trying. All right. I think it's up and down all around. The stream is coming back. No, still. Upload speed is trying. And I don't know if you guys have had a problem with the internet, but I have had good days, bad days, and I think we're coming back. All right. There we go, too. So I'm just going to let it go from now on there, too. Before it would be... I would have to stop, reset, restart a whole new file, but it comes back on its own. And I think it's trying to. I don't know what the deal is with that. So we're trying there, guys, again. So we're doing it. We're making it. We're having a fun day. Hopefully your weekend is pretty good. My neighbors were shooting off fireworks. They shoot it off a couple of days before 4th of July, and then, of course, the holiday. And they'll probably shoot it off today, too. And at first, it always, takes me back to be like, oh, man. What is, it's 4th of July, so fireworks are going off, right, And there's always, sirens or this or ambulance or something that goes by. You can hear them in the idea. But it's like when the fireworks go off, you're like, whoa, oh, okay, it's on there too. And, my cats are okay with it. I know some dogs aren't, but I know some animals, they get scared of it. And there was a whole thing talking about on the news that, cities were talking about the fireworks being sold and bought, and they were having people going down streets and setting them off. But if you think about it, that would be, fireworks would probably be in abundance in a zombie apocalypse, right? And they would definitely have the attraction to zombies, to walkers, I would think, too, right? Because, zombies are fictional. Walkers are fictional, whatever you want to call them. The zombies are something that would be fast, be slow, reanimated. They come back fast, come back slow, and it's okay if the zombies were picking up objects. I made a video about it recently about how, the zombies were picking up rocks and they were trying to bang the glass, and then they were turning doorknobs, and they were trying to get over the fence, and they were trying to do a lot of things early on in the first 2 seasons, I guess. I know the first season for sure, but, it's funny because I'm not sure what they wanted to do and how they wanted to be with it. And I'm sure when you make a show or a movie, there's definitely the story that wants to be there, but also what can be done with the higher ups, the director, the producers, the writers, all the movie production, the corporations that actually make it, the companies. So it's crazy to think that, did they have that by design? Did, the walkers initially, did, Frank Darabont want to have that? Did he fight to do that? Or weren't they sure what to do with it? Because who knew? Like, what if The Walking Dead was one season and then we never saw it again, right? A lot of shows, they get one season. Look at Whiskey Cavalier. That was Lauren Cohan's show. Got one season, maybe 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons, and then it goes off. But now, some shows, like Lucifer, was on, I think, 3 seasons on Fox, and then they got rid of it. Then it was picked up by Netflix, and now they're getting a 5th or a 6th season, and it's just carrying on that way, which is crazy to think that some shows are on a network, and then they get killed off, and then they get picked up, and they get reborn, and they get on there as well, too. So it's, yeah, exactly. Ed says, pilot of Married with Children was way different than 10 years in. It was so crazy that some shows, you watch the show, and the pilot, like just look at The Sopranos, right? If you look at The Sopranos and you look how James Gandolfini, who's Tony Soprano, talks, he uses his regular accent in the first episode for sure, maybe the first 2 episodes. And then by the 3rd episode, he changes it and has a different accent, and it definitely works for the character, and they definitely stump things up. And a lot of times they'll film the pilot. They'll film an episode. I don't know what they did for The Walking Dead, but they usually film the pilot. They do what they do. They put their money into it, and then they wait to see if the show gets picked up. And a lot of times they do that, and the shows never make it. It doesn't get past the pilot. And I'm bringing up The Sopranos again because I know for a fact that a lot of the actors were like, yeah, the young kids who played Meadow and AJ, a lot of the older actors were like, yeah, don't worry about it. The show may not get picked up. So if you want to go look into doing something different, definitely go do that, because a lot of times a pilot is shot and then it never gets picked up after that. It's more common for that to happen than a show to have a 10-season run like The Walking Dead. Ed Morris says, love your channel, bro. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it for the super chat. And thank you, Joey Spagnoletti, for becoming a level 3 PT Peep. I appreciate that, guys. I hate asking for subscribers and members and all that stuff, but it keeps the channel going, right? Ultimately, I want to have the channel for us to talk about it and discuss. And you got to pay the bills. You got to pay the electric bill, and you got to pay the cable bill, and you got to pay this, and you got to pay that. And that takes money. And if you can do and pay the bills from the monthly money that you get from YouTube, if it's enough, from subs, from Patreon, from super chats, from all that stuff, it comes back to the channel to continue on for what we do. But times are tough right now. So if anybody gives, I truly appreciate it. Whether it's $1, whether it's anything, there's no small amount. There's any amount that comes in. It's always appreciated for the same thing. But I hate asking about it because I don't want to be that guy who's like, hey, I do this for the money. I don't. I do it for the community. I do it for discussions. I do it for topics. I do it for us to have an outlet, for us to be out there for a good way. And it's something that I enjoy doing. And I love talking about it, and it's one of those things that hopefully will happen for a long, long time, too. Joey the Gator asks, so is Comic-Con still going on this month? Well, yes and no. The Comic-Con is at home. It's a virtual event like so many other things. And it's at home that the panels will still be broadcast on. I think I got a message from San Diego Comic-Con that go find their YouTube channel and subscribe to it, and then you'll be able to watch the panels from there once they're uploaded. So I don't know if it's going to be a live streaming event for every panel or a lot of the panels or any of the panels, but I know they will be up, and they've had them in the past where they were in Hall H, The Walking Dead, and whoever, companies and shows that were there. And it's going to be different this year. But Robert Kirkman's going to be at his own panel, and then he's going to be at another Skybound panel. I'm guessing he'll be at the Walking Dead panel, the Fear the Walking Dead panel, and the Walking Dead World Beyond panel. So he should be a busy man. That's pretty interesting, too. So, Diana, check out Comic-Con, their YouTube channel. Check out there. But we have a couple weeks before it. I'm sure it's going to spread on, a bunch of different avenues on websites and everything there. So once we find out more, we will share it with you guys, because I'm interested in the panels. I'm interested in the information, what they can say, what they can't say. And, I think a lot of people are thinking that The Walking Dead or AMC is not showing us the episode because they don't want to, that the episode is done. And maybe they are, but I don't want to think of AMC and The Walking Dead in a negative light like that too. And maybe it's, false positive, but I do think, or false positivity, that I want to think that they are doing what they're doing because of the times that we're in. And I would assume, though, it's July 5th, and I would assume a couple weeks ago they went back to work. I'm not sure that the post-production wasn't done or when it's going to be done and when we're going to get the episode. But I think we're going to get it after Comic-Con at home because they're not going to see the episode and they're going to talk about it because they can't talk about season 11 because it's not filming. They haven't filmed it all. They probably wrote some of the scripts and there's nobody there yet for them to film anything. When Georgia gets back to filming, when Texas gets back to filming, we will have The Walking Dead filming and Fear the Walking Dead filming, but World Beyond is done. I'm not sure what their plan is to film season 2 because there's going to be 2 seasons right now, right? So I would assume that when we get to go ahead, because World Beyond films in Virginia, so you got to worry about Virginia, Georgia, and Texas. So I'm not sure when we're going to get that information. Diana, they were supposed to start filming season 11 of The Walking Dead May 4th. But that came and went. That's 2 months ago. And I'm not sure if they're going to start this, if they're going to just try to film this year or not, if they're going to wait till next year, if they're going to film next May. I just really don't know what the plan is for it. Hopefully we get answers at Comic-Con at home. Ed Morris says, any word of Seth Gilliam moving on or character death party? There's been no word of that. I'm not sure what the deal is. I definitely think that they probably had a death party for the season 10 finale at some point when they were wrapped filming, or maybe it was a wrap party that was a death party or death dinner. There's been no word on that too. So Grape Tomato Girl says, bro, I usually watch the ads playing before the live stream, but this time it was 17 minutes long. I'll watch the ads. You don't have to watch the ads at all, and if you want to, that helps the channel. The way stuff works is when there's an ad that comes up before the video, maybe during the video, and then after the video. Sometimes, if you watch the whole video, the whole ad, the revenue comes back to the channel. If you skip the ad, I don't think any revenue is generated to the channel and or YouTube. Well, and YouTube, because YouTube gets a certain percentage of it. So if you watch an ad, it comes back. If you don't, and I'm not trying to say watch the ads by any means. I don't know what happened last live stream, but somebody was saying that there was a bunch of ad breaks. I don't put the ad breaks in. I'm not like sitting here like, okay, every 5 minutes we're going to have an ad break. YouTube did. I have ad breaks at the beginning of the video, sometimes midway through, and then at the end sometimes, right? So I don't know what is going on with that. But I know that other channels that I've watched and other videos that I've had, there was a lot of ads on a lot of things. And I don't know if it was the user, the channel, or YouTube. But I don't do that. I'm not like, oh, I'm putting this on here too. And I'm not trying to do, so I'm not sure what the thing is. But the big thing is that ads come back to the channel. They come back to YouTube. So that just helps out as well. Some ads are ridiculous, though. Some ads are like 5 minutes. And I'm like, who wants to watch that? Maybe if there's an ad that's a couple of seconds and I like the channel, I watch it. Or if I'm interested in the ad, too. If I watch the ad, some ads aren't skippable, so you got to watch it. Some are. But some ads are like way too long. And I'm like, man, if I'm watching like a documentary or something on here or video gameplay or something, sometimes ads pop up all the time, and if I'm watching it and doing something, the ads play, and I'm like, I don't really care. It don't really matter, except when they're like way too long. So just got to put that out there because some people just don't know too. So Janie, do you think it's possible Travis could return to Fear? I don't remember seeing his body that I missed something. I definitely don't think so. Travis was killed off. Spoiler warning for Fear the Walking Dead. But Travis was a character on Fear the Walking Dead who was kind of like a good character. I liked the actor. I liked him in a lot of different things. But he was definitely a character that I wanted to see carry on after season 2. But season 3. Sorry, it was season 3 that it happened. But he was kind of a weaker character at the beginning, and then he was there with his son, and then it was like stuff was kind of happening, and then when he started to like the guy, and he was turning into a likable character more and more and more, and then boom, he got killed off, he was in a helicopter, and the bottom of the helicopter was shot down with bullets by the Native Americans, and the helicopter went down, and then Travis was killed. We didn't really see the burial. We didn't see this, but the actor wanted to he's actually going to be in Avatar, I think the second and third movies. So that was a big, long commitment during the filming of Fear the Walking Dead and that too. So he left the show that way. And so Travis, and I don't really think any character is going to come back around. Like, I don't think Madison's ever coming back around. Maybe in a flashback or dream sequence or something, if Alicia is, I don't know. I just don't see that ever happening. But it could. You never know. Never say never. I don't think Travis is ever coming back. I don't ever think Tobias is coming back. I don't think Heath is ever coming back to the show. Jadis may or may not, just because it would be a good way to connect. I think that would be pretty cool. But again, I'm not the writer. The writers can do whatever they want. They can jump the shark. They've already jumped the shark in some people's eyes. They do a lot of crazy things. They go out there and they do a lot of different stuff for different reasons. Maybe it's contracts. Maybe it's, different writing potentials. Maybe it's story arcs. Maybe they want to mix things up. Maybe they want to make the fans mad. I don't know. So I just think that the only people that could come back that would make sense is probably Jadis, because Jadis would make sense to connect with Rick, the group, CRM, the movies. I just think it makes sense for sure. Xmas Girl Q&A: if you had to join up with one of the villains, whose group would you choose and why? That's a great question. I think everybody should ask that too. So the villains, right? Who are the villains? The Governor, the Wolves, Terminus, the Saviors, the Whispers. I think that's it, right? So I wouldn't want to be a whisperer, because that's gross. I like having a bedroom and a bathroom and a toilet and a thing, taking showers. I think it's just gross to be a whisperer. The Wolves are kind of the same way. Claimers, that's a good one too. Trash people, but dead trash people, now they're weird too. Jadis, I'm out with that. I don't know. It's probably between three different things for me. I think the Governor, Saviors, or maybe even Terminus. We never really got to see Terminus. Terminus was this build-up to... Dee Dee says, the ninja is one of the Vatos. Dawn in the Hospital, that's a good one. Yeah, Dawn in the Hospital, that's a good one too. That's probably the top four for me too. So, I don't know. Would I really want to live under a rule like Negan? No. I think Negan's out. I think I would. The Saviors are good if you're a high-ranking, associate, official, a captain, a commander, a lieutenant, whatever you want to call them. There, I think I'm out. Like, I'd want to be a savior that way. But if I'm a regular low-ranking savior, I'm out. The Dawn in the Hospital, I didn't even think about that, but that's pretty cool. I like that. Just because you're in a hospital, hopefully you have some say, and you have this, and have some safety. You're in a hospital, so you have medical care. That'd be pretty cool. Terminus, when I was talking about Terminus is Grape Tomato Girl says, I can never join Terminus because I'm a vegan. Yeah, then Terminus is out, right? Yeah, eating people, I guess Terminus is out too. So I guess it's the hospital. I guess that's the winner. Mark me on board. And Woodbury would be pretty cool too. So to me, it would be the hospital or Woodbury with the Governor, because you have a lot of different things too. So that'd be pretty cool. Scouse Lots 16. Sorry, I'm Scousey Lots. Any news on when we're going to final episode? Again, I'm not sure if it's Spectrum, if it's YouTube, if it's me, if it's my computer, but I think we're coming back. I think we're resuming, guys, too. So, but I love the I love the questions. I love the Q&A. I love the what if scenarios, and I love the what would you do type of things. I think that's pretty cool too. So, Wilson, Q&A, do you think Yumiko will have a big role in season 11 and possibly take Michonne's arc from the comic? I definitely like that idea. I think that's the most reasonable thing to have for the Michonne story arc, with Michonne being a lawyer. She becomes a lawyer at the Commonwealth, a judge at the Commonwealth later on. And I think Yumiko, if she's a lawyer, she's at the Commonwealth or going to the Commonwealth, I think she's going to be there too. Now, a big thing is the question that Xmas Girl brought up to me too, is that who do you think could get the idea with Michonne's daughter? Do you think it's going to go to Yumiko? Do you think it's going to go to Connie? Do you think it's going to go to somebody else, or we're not going to get it at all? I think that I'm going to make a video on that for sure. I haven't forgot about Xmas Girl 304, and I haven't forgot about a lot of things, but I'm trying to just do, thinking that it's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm definitely going to do that, and we got some time, so I think it's good as well too. So I like the idea. Man, Z-Train says, hopefully Carl faked his death or is immune, and he has a shocking return. Yeah, they buried Carl, so I don't think Carl's coming back. So I love the theories, and I love some of the crazy theories, because some of the times they're just so over the top, and you just have to be like, man, do you agree with this? Do you not? Some people say things for shock value. Some people think that it's something that it's crazy to think that, maybe they just put that out there. Someone truly believes it or not too. So Dante asks, Yo, Brian, what do you think will be the runtime for the finale? I hope it's an extended episode. I hope it's at least an hour and a half. So it's probably, which is an hour and a half on television, you get at least 20 minutes of commercials. So you're probably going to get maybe 60 minutes of actual television if we're our actual content. So if we're lucky, we'll get an hour of actual video and the actual episode. But, I don't know if the plan was for that hour and a half or not. But hopefully it's an extended episode. Regardless, there's going to be tons of commercials. There's going to be tons of things that way. We'll hopefully probably get a special of all of it so far, a recap. Hopefully we'll get some different information there too. We'll get the different episodes coming up, the previous ones, to be able to watch it, because I think they posted them on their website, on AMC's website, but hopefully we'll be able to get to watch all the different things and watch it again in a nice I want to say reunion, but I want to say recap of it, I guess, too. Jackie asks, do you think the storyline of Michonne's daughter from the comics will play out in the movies with Michonne and Judith? Well, I don't know what's going to happen with that, because that's a good way. That's a great theory right there, too. Like, I don't know where Michonne is going, though, right? I think Michonne's story is going to be with these pioneers, mountaineers, kind of wilderness people. They have a caravan of people and a lot of people. And I personally think that we're going to get the idea of it being the CRM, which is the military, the government military, versus like the wilderness people. And I think it's going to be a big epic battle in at least one of the movies, whether it's the second movie, the third movie, if that's how it ends or not, if it connects the movie and the shows and there's a big thing and the pioneers are connected there and Georgie's connected with this. And, everybody wants to have a big connecting thing. We want to have Morgan bring everybody from Fear to The Walking Dead. Walking Dead World Beyond to connect with Fear, and they come along for the journey. We want to have CRM and Jadis connect with Heath and Rick and these people and that people, and a big, nice, pretty package where everything connects. And there's part 1, part 2, part 3 of the Rick movies. They connect with the show. Rick comes back in the final season. Bing, bada, boom. It's great. Who's going to get this? Who's going to get that? I just don't know if that's what the plan is, because The Walking Dead, I don't know if they have a plan that's going to work. If it's going to connect, if people are going to like it, if the ending is going to suck, if the Rick Grimes movies are going to connect and be great, because I don't know if that's... Hopefully, Kirkman, Gimple, Angela Kang, all the showrunners of Fear, Walking Dead World Beyond, and Walking Dead itself, I just hope that it all connects in a way that's a nice thing and a nice, good story, and I just don't know if that's going to happen. We have to wait and see. Probably I don't even know when The Walking Dead, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, the movies are all going to end. So if we're going to get 3 movies of the Rick Grimes movies, 3 Rick movies, they haven't even started the first one. So at earliest, we would get that movie in 2021. And then if they're on point, we get another one, 2022. On point, a third one, 2023. So we're going to have Walking Dead movies until 2023, right? If it goes well, if we have a movie a year from 2021, 22, 23. Then the show, maybe we get season 11. Maybe that gets pushed back to 2021. Maybe we get a 12th season, 2022. Fear the Walking Dead, no idea what they're going to do with that. Are we going to get a 7th season? Are we going to connect? Is it going to come back around? Are we going to go to the movies with them? Or what's going to happen with that? World Beyond looks to be 2 seasons. So we're going to get one this year, and maybe it's 2021 or 2022 for the World Beyond 2nd season. Are they going to connect? Are we going to, like, what if we like the characters? What if we like those characters? What if we like the people better on World Beyond than Fear the Walking Dead? Fear the Walking Dead is coming up on its 6th season. Some people love the show. Some people hate the show. Some people watch it. Some people loathe it. Some people stand up for that show like it's the world's best show ever made. And that's okay. You can do whatever you want. But the show has problems, in my opinion. They fixed some things. They got some things better. They jumped the shark. They killed characters off. You know, it is what it is. We get what we get. Some people, like Wilson, Fear the Walking Dead season 5 sucked. And that's okay. Like, Wilson didn't like it. It was okay. Like, I like John. I like certain new characters that they brought in. I like the kind of Dwight angle if they finally get to meet, a bunch of different characters and where is it going. And he's going to meet Sherry, and we're going to meet up with that in season 6. So we'll be there, right? Too. So, Mark, what's up, man? Hope everyone is well. Hope you're doing as well as well. And everybody's doing okay, too. So, hopefully we'll get a bunch of things here. And thank you guys for being here, doing that. Julie Newhouse says, I thought Morgan was dead. Well, last time we saw Morgan was in a precarious situation, but he was alive. He wasn't doing well, but he was alive. That's for sure. What do we got here? Sorry, people just jumped in. Xmas Girl Q&A. Who will show up with the Commonwealth soldiers, Eugene and Co. or Maggie? Well, what I think is going to happen is, if you know the comic, I think they're going to have just like the comic. We're going to have a Commonwealth soldier or soldiers, and they pointing their guns at Eugene, Princess, Yumiko, and Ezekiel. And I think that we're going to be able to wait for season 11 to see who's actually there. I do not think Stephanie is going to be there in season 10, episode 16. We'll have to wait to season 11 when whoever the representative from the Commonwealth is with the soldiers that we will meet in season 11 will bring Eugene and Co. back. I don't think Maggie will be there. I think that there'll be soldiers. They'll have their hands up, and we'll have to see, like, oh, man, they're in trouble. And then we'll talk about the Commonwealth. We've already talked about that in several videos, but it's just setting the tone for season 11. I really think that season 10, episode 16, it's supposed to be a big jaw-dropping moment or moments in the final 2 minutes. We're going to be like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I just hope it doesn't end with a Sopranos type ending where it goes blank and we're like, what happened? We have to wait till next year. Like, it's going to be crazy. Whenever we get to see this, I don't even know when we're going to be able to watch season 11, episode 1 after we've been waiting forever for the season 10 finale. So it's going to be crazy to think that we're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting some more and then waiting some more. So I personally think Maggie is going back to our group. She's going to be involved with saving Alden and Aaron, and I have a feeling that's going to set up things possibly with Alden for season 11. I have that idea to make a video on it, but I think Alden and Maggie will get together potentially later on in a future season for sure. Ed Morris, my guy, says, can you imagine Negan being a father figure to Herschel due to guilt? He's good with Judith, Carl, Nut Tap Kid, etc. I could see that. I don't think Negan wants to hurt women and kids. I think that Negan had to make the decisions because he was the leader and he had to make tough decisions. And, he could have taken out everyone in the lineup. We wouldn't have a show after that. It would be the Negan show, which would have been a crazy twist and a crazy turn. But in the comic, we have the Negan lineup. Glenn is killed. The whole thing with Maggie and Rick and their problems, and then they go from there. We lost 2 characters, but I don't know if that's going to happen because I don't know if that's too much. I like the idea of Negan being a father figure and stepping up for Judith and protecting people, especially with Beta and the Whispers and any other walkers, and being there too. But I just don't know. It would be awkward to be Negan and Herschel and Maggie, and how's that dynamic going to be? I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that. That's one of the big things why I'm excited to see Maggie. I mean, I think Lauren Cohan does a good job as Maggie. I think, Lauren Cohan is beautiful, so it's always great to have her on the show, and I think she's a good actress. So I think that Maggie, Negan, Herschel going forward is a good dynamic that I want to see. But I just don't know if Maggie would ever let Negan come close. Like, what if Herschel is in danger, right? And the only one to save Herschel is Negan. And Negan saves Herschel. And it's okay. Herschel doesn't really know who Negan is. He doesn't know that Negan killed Glenn. He doesn't know that, that happened. But we know. And Maggie knows. So, go for another 18 minutes or so. And then we'll be able to keep going. I think we're coming back. I think we're resuming. Yay! I know. It's crazy, but I'm glad it comes back on there too, and I think the stream is coming back as well. But that's a lot of good questions, and I love the great questions that Ed and everybody asking here too. So I love the idea of having a dynamic with Negan staying on the show. But what if Negan goes away, right? What if Negan goes away and we don't get to see their interaction with Negan and Maggie and Negan and Herschel and everything? That's a big thing, because that was a big turning point for a lot of people. A lot of people stopped watching the show when Negan killed Glenn and Abraham, which I could understand that if you loved Glenn and Abraham, but I don't think it was justified to stop watching the show. I mean, the show did a lot of things and a lot of crazy things, and it was the Negan show, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't really agree with, but I still watched it. I still don't think that season 7 was the best by any means too. So Joey the Gator, I missed your question. I think it was in the buffering aspect too, so I didn't get to see it. And no, I didn't. So post it again, Joey. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't get to see your question, but I'll answer it on there. Xmas Girl 304, what is the most jaw-dropping ending that you can come up with? Well, jaw-dropping. If you look at the track record of Greg Nicotero, he has a way of saying, like, it's amazing, our actors did a great job, and he sells it, and it's this and it's that, and so many good things are going to happen, and some things are underwhelming, and he's saying they're amazing, but maybe he's just selling it or overselling it too. So I think that jaw-dropping for me would be 3 things. That Eugene and co. come across the Commonwealth soldiers, and they come across them and they say, put your hands up, and they're like, there's there's a spotlight on them, and the soldiers got their guns on it, and they're like, and then we don't know what happens. The other thing, I guess there's only 2 things. Well, besides Beta, I think Beta has to fight Negan and 2 other people or multiple people. And I think that I would love for Maggie to come back, take out the walkers, see Negan and whoever fighting Beta. She takes out her gun, fires a shot, and then it ends. And we don't know what it is. We don't know if she shot Beta, shot at Negan, shot Negan, did something, saved Negan. I don't know. But then we got to wait to see what happens at the end of that. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's just how I would write it. But I really hope they give us more answers than anything, because that we've been waiting forever. And I don't know if that would be a good way. People are going to hate it anyway. People have been waiting forever for this episode. So is it going to live up to the hype? I doubt it. Are people going to be disappointed? Probably. Especially because it's going to have a cliffhanger ending or multiple cliffhanger endings with different things happening. And I just think that people are going to be mad at that. That's just what I could think of. So I'm not sure if that's going to be done or not. I personally think that'd be kind of cool. But that's how I would write it. But I'm not. I'm not writing. Diana says, jaw-dropping would be The Rock as Mercer. That would be pretty cool. I don't think AMC and The Walking Dead could afford The Rock. The Rock is a very pricey superstar, and I don't think they would be able to afford a character for that too. But that would be pretty cool. I don't know who I would want for to play Mercer, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan works, but it doesn't work too because Negan is a big guy. He's kind of a big biker dude with a leather jacket, and he's got the slick back hair, and he's like a bigger guy. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is super skinny. He's funny, and he's got that look with the beard and everything, and he looks good like Negan, but he doesn't really have that big, oversized, he has the oversized personality, but not the body and the figure for it. And it's okay, it works, but it's just a little crazy. Stephen Klein Q&A, if the governor wanted the prison, then what was the point of destroying the fences and the prison if you can't live there? Steve, that's a good question. I don't know, right? That's one of those things where that I think that the governor wanted the prison, and then Rick, he was hoping that Rick would just lay down his guns and give up the prison, and Rick and co wasn't going to do that. So then the governor got mad. Governor was kind of like a baby. He wasn't getting his way. So I'll take this sword and I'll show you the way. I'll show you what I want. He was kind of like a disgruntled teenager who wasn't getting his way, so he has a temper tantrum, and he's like, I want the prison. I want the prison. Give me the prison, Rick. Come on. And Rick wasn't going to give it up. And so he was like, okay, if I can't have it, no one's going to have it. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that the governor's ego was one of his downfalls too. Because they had the guns, they had the weapons, they had the people, and when they went in, it was just kind of, crazy that he took out all his own people, and it's just like, come on. Jaden Clean says, what is the difference between Commonwealth and CRM? Great question. Well, we don't know yet because we haven't seen the Commonwealth on the show, but the Commonwealth is a community. The Commonwealth is a 50,000 plus people community in Ohio that has a stadium and a bunch of shops and basically a town and a Central Avenue and a one-way street, or a street with one stoplight, and people have jobs and people have this and they have a government situation, they have this. CRM is the Civic Republic Military. They are a militarized organization that looks to be taking people for some aspect probably of the government. They're trading, they're connecting, they have guns, they have helicopters, they have people, they have gear. They're basically the military that's left alive in the world. Maybe the United States, we're not sure yet. But I think of it as the Commonwealth is hopefully, probably, most likely, a connecting point with the CRM avenue. CRM is its own thing. They might trade with Commonwealth. They may trade with Jadis. They may trade with this. They may trade with other groups. They get what they get. They're maybe working on different things. I would assume it's some avenue of the military that is trying to branch out. I would assume it's the military, maybe a hybrid group of different things like the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. They're just a hodgepodge group of what's left of the avenue of the government. Maybe we have political officials still, and they're sending CRM out to get supplies, to get gear, to maybe work on a cure, to maybe work on different things. Maybe they're working on weaponizing walkers. Maybe they're working on weaponization of what's left around there, and they're trying to take over. That's a good starting point, and I think that's a great point of all zombie apocalypse, of who's trying to have the power, take the power, keep the power, and the government or governments or a government, whoever's left, is probably aspect of that too. So we're not sure yet. I just don't know what the aspect of the Commonwealth is going to be for the show. I would assume they're going to do it because we saw Stephanie and everything is pointing that way, but we just haven't seen that just yet too. So let me see. Stephen Klein, do you think we will see Connie again, or is she really dead? We better see Connie again, right? I mean, if I don't see Connie, whether she's a walker or alive, it's going to be annoying. It's going to be a plot hole. It's going to be a problem, and it's going to make a lot of people pissed off on the show because she was a character that came across in Magna's group. She was actually a good character. She's one of the better characters of the group. Some people like Connie better than Kelly, better than Magna. Some people like Luke. Some people like Yumiko. A lot of people like Connie. I like Connie. But Connie went away because Lauren Ridloff, who plays an actor. She's a character in the movie called The Eternals, a Marvel movie that is supposed to be coming out later this year, maybe next year now. I think it's next year probably. I think a lot of the big movies are moving to next year. So she filmed the movie in probably 3 to 4 months. And so she went away and didn't film after season 10, episode 9. And we're still waiting and waiting and waiting. And I personally hope that it's answered in season 10, episode 16. That'd be kind of cool if she comes back. And I don't want her to be a walker. I want her to be alive. But, you know, some people, there's a theory that it's kind of cool. I may make a different video on that too. That Magna shamed Connie like Otis. So we'll have to see if Connie was taken out by Magna to get away. But, you know, I don't know. But I don't think so. You know, that's good. It's a theory that's going around. I think it's got some, I don't know, discussion. And it's interesting, and I love talking about it. So we'll have to make that video down the road too. So Wilson says, could the jaw-dropping last 2 minutes be that Connie died? Would that really be jaw-dropping though? It may be if we saw her as a walker and she's coming towards somebody, and I guess that would be, I think it's a multitude of things. I think it's to do with the Commonwealth. I think it probably has to do with Beta and Maggie returning, and I just think that's the biggest thing is what it could be. But that could be. I don't want to see that. I want to see Connie alive. But you know what we want to see and what happens isn't always the case. We have a lot of theories that we thought would have been cool for the show, but it didn't happen. You know, we don't write for the show, so we don't know. And maybe they do have good writers for it, and maybe their hands are tied where they want to go with it, and maybe they can't do that because of this or that, or actors or actresses, or what they want to do. But I like the idea talking about it too. So Paul C says, hi Brad, great live discussion as always. Do you think the show will end with a cure? How it all started? I know that Robert Kirkman says a lot of things about the show, and he says a lot of things will never happen. That Rick is not in a coma. He was never in a coma. He's not still in a coma, and he's going to wake up at the end of that. So we don't have to worry about that. And I think he said, just out of my hands, I'm just trying to have the talking and the going. I think we're going again. I think we're coming back. I think we're resuming. I think we're good. We're good. I think we're coming back, guys, too. So we're going there, too. So we'll go for another 5 minutes. We'll go for that hour-long stream. Sorry for the technical difficulties there as well. Ed Morris says, Kirkman redacted the Space Force too. That's for sure. He says a lot of things. And that's kind of frustrating because Robert Kirkman is we're in Robert Kirkman's sandbox, right? Just like you're in George R.R. Martin's sandbox for Game of Thrones. They can do whatever they want. They can say this, they can say that. Well, I don't think that's going to ever happen. I don't think this is going to happen. And then it happens. And you're like, well, wait a second. You just said that. Well, you never know. Never say never. And that's going to happen here. And you're like, what the heck is going on here? But, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Kirkman trolls. He loves to stir the pot. He loves to do a couple things on there, too. That's for sure, too. So, and Jeannie says, Abraham versus Beta would be hell of a fight. And that would be awesome. Like, I wish Abraham was alive for so many different reasons, for comic relief, for, you know, his tactical abilities, being a soldier, he was awesome. He was funny. He was tactical. He was a good fighter. He was so many different things. And it would have been great for him to be in the war, all-out war, and maybe have died there. But it would have been really great for him to have survived to fight the Whisperers. But we never saw that in the comic, and we never saw that on the show too. So Wilson's, I agree. Abe had the best lines. And I don't know if that's ever going to be topped again. You know, there are certain actors or certain characters that the show was so good in season 4, 5, and 6. It was like, man, it was at its high point for the story, for the characters, for just everything coming together. It was pretty awesome too. I definitely enjoyed having Abraham around, and Eugene and Rosita, and it was just great too. So pretty cool. So Xmas Girl 304, do you think there's something to Kirkman's last PS, Clementine lives, or is he trolling us? I actually that's going to be in the video that I'll post tomorrow. But since you're here, it was kind of more of a discussion type thing in that video, but I talk about it. It's going to actually say Clementine lives with a question mark is actually my thumbnail that I made 2 days ago. But I think Kirkman is a smart business guy with this too. So I think that he is leaving it open for a different way. Like, the Walking Dead story is done. The Negan story is basically done. And now where else would they go? right? There's nothing left after this. But they had the Telltale games. Clementine being in the Telltale games. Now, Ed says Clementine is the masked person. No, not. There's the different universe of the characters, of the story of things too, where you have the Telltale games and the comic and the show and the spin-offs and this, and then the Michonne game and this game and that game too. So it's definitely interesting to see what happens going forward with this too. Like, never say never. We're not sure what's going to happen with it, but it's interesting because I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Clementine thing. Maybe he's trolling us, but you know, it was a year ago that we had the end of the comic, last July, and now we have this July, we have Negan Lives. Are we going to get something next year and next July for, you know, Clementine or someone there too? I'm just not sure where they're going to go, but you know, it's interesting because it makes you wonder. And that's what some writers and good pot stirrers or good writers or good people want to do, because it's interesting because it's got people talking. And that's, you know, why people do some things. Zach Dixon, TWD. What do you think Maggie will do if he sees Negan out of his cell? If she sees Negan out of his cell? I think she's going to be pissed. I think that could be one of the moments that we see is the jaw dropping last 2 minutes. What is Maggie going to do when she sees Negan out of his cell? But Negan saved a lot of people. If Negan wasn't out of his cell, Judith and Dog probably are frozen to death. You know, we would have had certain big moments with, you know, Alpha would still be alive. There's a lot of things that would have been different if Negan was still locked up in his cell, but he was kept alive for that reason too. So, but Maggie doesn't know that, and Maggie probably doesn't care. So, my question to you also is: do you think Maggie is going to be received like, "Oh, Maggie's here, we've missed you," or like, "Maggie's here, where have you been? We've lost so many people, so many things, so many people have died. We could have used your help." People are going to have resentment towards Maggie because she hasn't been there too. So, Stephen Klein, I would prefer a Clementine TV show based off the game. I'd rather have that than the New World spinoff. Well, that's not really a question, Stephen, but I don't know. I mean, video games are video games. Comics are comics. Some things come to the show. I just hope the World Beyond is a good show, and I think it could be. I think it's going to connect the dots with CRM, which has me interested, and I think it could be a cool thing. And we'll see what happens with that. I know a lot of people love the Telltale games. I'm just not the biggest fan myself. But I'm going to post that video tomorrow about the Clementine thing, so be on the look for that. And Kara, who do you think is going to kill Beta? That is a great question that I don't know. I think that it's probably going to be Aaron. I think that's a pretty cool thing. I think that makes sense. Princess Pie, welcome to the Level 3 PTP. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that too. But are you a new person to the channel, Princess? Are you a new person, or did you change your name or something on there too? But either way, thank you. I appreciate that. Pretty cool stuff. I always like subscribers, members, patrons, everybody, and I just like people joining the channel. It's always cool too. But I think that it's going to be a couple people taking out Beta, personally myself too. So thank you guys for being here. I think the chat or the upload speed is kind of struggling a little bit here, but we made our hour, guys. If you're going to watch the replay of it, let me see. I want to see about the ads here while I have this thing too, because I did not put in ad breaks on there last time, and I don't know why there were so many of them, and I know that's annoying to watch. That's definitely something that has a lot of people like. It's frustrating to watch different ad breaks on there, so I'll have to play with it down the road. But if you're watching the replay of it, I did not put all the ad breaks in there. I have one at the beginning, and I have something probably in the beginning, or in the middle. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for on there too. So thank you, Princess Pie. She says, hello, I am new. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to be here. You just kind of came in towards the end of the stream. We usually go from 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 2 o'clock because I live in Florida. So hopefully we'll be back next Sunday. I know I will be back. I'll be back on there too. So, so she says, I am not new, but haven't catched live for a long time. Well, that's okay. Either way, glad you're here to check it out. Stephen Klein, last question. Q&A, does Lucille get destroyed after it hits Beta? Well, in the comic, Beta's huge back, muscular back, destroys Lucille, the wooden bat. But Negan doesn't have Lucille. Negan has a different bat. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. for sure. But thank you guys for being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll be back next Sunday for a live stream, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be safe out there, guys. I know the world is a crazy place, and it's frustrating, annoying, and irritating to be around sometimes. It's just one of those things where we just have to make the best of it. Try to keep a positive outlook if you can. Keep your social distancing. Wear a mask if you go out on there, too. It really helps. They showed scientific things where if someone coughs or sneezes with the mask on there, it prevents the spread of, you know, the virus or the splatter or the droplets. It's one of those things that it does work. So thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. Be on the lookout for my Z-Fit videos. I'll be doing more of those where I'll be doing, you know, it's going to be a character of One-Eye Bry, but it's going to be legit good physical nutrition, fitness, Q&A, workout stuff on there too. It's going to be legit stuff, but the personality may be a little over the top just for fun, but you know, it'd be a fun thing in there. So Z-Fit videos will be coming out very, very soon. Thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, staying true to yourself, blocking out the haters, and doing what you love if you can do it. Thank you guys for being here. I'll be back next week, and see you and stay safe.